Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam yas Allah, koholoyim la Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kahakodash, double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well, and then by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water toward the H.I.M and Akwaf. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawah, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And article in New York Post. I got another article as well, going off into you women in Isaiah 4:1 coming about soon. Desperate singles beg cute men to approach them at bars. Can y'all please start going out? Well, men not hitting them bars like how you women are. They're not hitting these restaurants like how you women are. They're not going to any of these places where you women really are in general. They're not at the mall for the few that still go there. They're not, really hitting the beach or, any of that shit. These men are pretty much more focused on themselves and doing their own thing, which is good. Now, mind you, these are two okay looking Edomite women. These are not bad looking women right here. Or they could be Jakes, you know what I'm saying? They could be Israelites, so let me clarify that. Because everyone that looks like this is not necessarily a so-called white person. They could be so-called black people. And we say that because your seed line goes through your father, according to Numbers chapter 1. Matter of fact, let's just prove that real quick. We can go back into the article. But what was happening is these Edomites, they're dying off quicker than they're being born. So it would help that they would get out and date, meet each other, and start families and stuff like that. But that shit is not happening. Let's get Numbers chapter 1 real quick. Prove that your seed line goes to your father, because America like to teach you that you're mixed or you're biracial if you have, a so-called white dad and a so-called black mom. No, you would be an Edomite if your dad is a so-called white man. That's the biblical name for the so-called white man. And if you are, a so-called black man gives with a so-called white woman, that would be an Israelite. That would be actually a Judite from the tribe of Judah. Because the seed, again, goes to your father. Let's prove it. Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their family. See, your pedigree goes into your family lineage by the house of their fathers. Not by the house of their mothers. It says by the house of their fathers. So why doesn't it say mother? Why didn't it say father and mother? Because it goes by your father, because the father carries the seed. He's the one that has the children within him to begin with, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So, just to clarify that. But these, I'm thinking these are Edomite women just from the situation, just the spirit of it. And they're not bad looking chicks. That's the crazy part. But it's a whole bunch of nice looking women out here. They're not being approached. I see them all the time. You know what I'm saying? I've actually kind of, seen that, some nice women checking me out in Walmart, little places like that. But I keep that shit moving. I don't want to be bothered. That's just me. I don't have the umph to even deal with you motherfuckers like that no more, really, at my age. But, it's not that Jake don't, would not want to deal with a woman with some damn sense. It's just that they don't have no damn sense, bro. It's too much. It's all work, no reward. We'll just rather wait until, Isaiah 4:1 comes and they get to beating down our doors and we can make them choices. Okay, but it says, there's no denying that today's dating scene is wild. A fed-up single swipe endlessly on dating apps or higher pricey matchmakers to find their happily ever after. It's fair to say that the days of meeting a potential suitor at a bar is long gone. Yeah, because nobody goes to no bars like that. Women, they pop up, you know what I'm saying? It's just not what it used to be, I'll put it that way. Two eager single women took to social media, validating that the statement as they desperately asked in a TikTok video posted, where are you guys meeting these cute men? So I'm assuming they're talking about women. Where are you meeting these cute men? Or probably even hell, they especially these Edomite men, they dealing with men. It says we go out to the bars every weekend, and that's probably the reason why you're not meeting nobody neither. You at the damn bars. We go out to the bars every weekend and we only see cute guys in the run clubs and bagel shops. at the grocery store. I don't gotta talk to you at the grocery store. One of the women complained. The bar is the best place, and they don't go out. No, the bar is not the best place to be meeting up with nobody. Can y'all please start going out? The duo pleaded. I know you guys aren't going to approach us at the grocery store or the run club. No, they're not going to approach you nowhere. Especially when women have a little bit of a beauty. And it's not that they all are assholes. It's just that, hey, so many of you have shown that you're assholes to the point where men don't even want to take the chance to even find out if you're an asshole or not. And these women have this liberty to get abroad too. That going to the club shit. They said the bar is the best place and they don't go out. No, the bar is not the best place to go out. You're supposed to be given over by your father, man, in marriage. Let's get let's go into the Apocrypha real quick. You have that ability to get abroad, and when you look in the way that you look, a lot of the times you dress, it says a lot. You could tell a lot by the way a woman dresses, man. That they may say, "Oh, well, I'm not a whore." It don't make no difference, man. You dressing like one. It says a lot. It means that you're not gonna be submissive basically to no one man. You're not, because if he asks you to not wear those particular types of clothing out, you're gonna be like, I can do what I want. I'm grown and all this other shit. Your girlfriend's gonna get in on the matter and shit on the guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all work no reward. You telling him what to do constantly. You running the household. You making all the decisions. You. He gets no damn peace because of you. Anyway, Ecclesiastes 25 and 20. I'll start at verse 24. It says, "Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die." Straight up. "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad," man. You at these damn clubs, these bars and shit, drunk as hell. There's another scripture that talks about that in here too. Um, could be chapter 26. Let me see here. Yep, right here. 8, Ecclesiastes 26 and 8. "A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causes great anger, and she would not cover her own shame." Yeah, man. You out at the bars, motherfucker stick a microphone in your face, and you get to talking about how many bodies you got, or how many, you're just talking straight weirdness to a complete stranger on the streets while you're tipsy, you know. And it's not just these so-called white women; it's so-called black women, Hispanic, so-called Japanese. So none of these women are being approached. Nobody running up on y'all, man, because you've made it difficult as hell to do so. Because again, first off, your father should be handing you off to a man. He's supposed to be choosing your husband, basically. It's supposed to be a transaction, not this you get to meet a nigga on Tinder and get your box blown out by him 30 times before he ever meets your family. Yeah, nah, man. This is not, nah. Y'all claim to be a Christian country. Okay, so it says, as expected, many men rush to comment sections to defend their kind. Women are so annoying with posts going viral such as this. I have a whole laundry list of reasons why men don't approach when argued. Women are literally hostile towards most men these days. They know it. They know it too. It's just them. Yet again, pretending not to understand things. Quip someone else. We don't want to waste money on girls who have no intentions or wanting anything more than free drinks or dinner, chimed in another. And that's what it is. You want a nigga come out and spend buy your ass $100 worth of drinks, or two, get you a bottle, or send you all that. No, people not doing that no more, man. These men are better off going to the liquor store, getting them a bottle, and cooking for themselves at home. If you want some box, you might as well just pay for it. Like, bitch, come on through. How much? And send her ass on her way, or don't even let her come to your house. Matter of fact, somebody says because we're labeled creepy asses. Another pointed out. Some of the commenters do have valid points. If the fact that Gen Z men don't approach women out in the wild anymore due to their fear of being mistaken as a creep, I never want to make the other person feel uncomfortable, and I want to be respectable. Ryan Kessler, 28, told the Post. Some girls don't want to be approached at all, so I'm always trying to err on the side of caution. Well, you gotta put your big boy pants on, man. Take a L if you, cause hey, that's what it was all about with even when people was going out to the bar, you still had to deal with rejection. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, every chick you ran up on, now some dudes, they just had that magic. Got that game with a couple of little looks, you know what I'm saying? He got the curly hair with the bluish green eyes, the shit that bitches like, But even him, he's not gonna pick up on everything. But every woman that you approach, you know what I'm saying, even back in the days, you know what I'm saying, hey, it was a chance of you take, and see, that's Esau. Esau, the so-called white man, and them pretty much the ones that's probably more likely in these comments. They can't stand rejection. They can't take rejection. What's wrong with you walking up on a woman? Hey, even if 144, call on him, how about you know, Shabbat Shem Kakadash, Salakia. Let me just hit this alarm real quick. So even if you get rejected, you know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck it. Even if the bitch come at you sideways, you just be like, okay, have a nice day. Shit, you don't get out a lot of hand calling or all kinds of bitches and hoes and this, and this. You don't let that get you out of the way. You just say, okay, I have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Shit, and keep it moving. Because I remember back in the days, we had a motto. We used to go to the mall. That was when the mall was popping. And actually, you would run up on, we had a motto. You go to the mall, you run up on like 10, 15 girls before you leave that bitch. You get as many numbers as you can. So you holler at 10 to 15 girls, you might get 5 numbers. You call all 5 of them, you might be able to hit 2. So the numbers is, you got to do the numbers game. You know what I'm saying? And that just be speaking as a carnal man when I was back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But man, not going for this no more, man. It says, despite wanting to soon settle down with a special someone, the cybersecurity analysis interactions with women are very few and far between. I don't want to bother them, explained to 28. So here you go, you 28 years old and you ain't get no box. And that's Esau. I see it all the time. I work with these people, young, successful, as far as like, the jobs that they work, you know what I'm saying? They got their little college degrees. I see they have their little, they make good money. And there's some bad little mamas that work in the building, around their age, but you never see any of them approaching them. They don't talk to them like that, you know what I'm saying? It's all, and I get it. You at the job, you definitely don't want to be, I wouldn't say it would be wise to be trying to talk to no chick at your job anyway. But, you know, just in general though, when you see him out in public, I be, sometimes I see Esau and I be like, damn, you ain't see that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like she fun, cause Jake could give a little look. We gonna at least, kind of give a little eye, like, damn, she all right, you know what I'm saying? No, Esau don't turn around. He don't look. He's totally. He has no idea. It's just like he's just there, man. He don't even. He has no idea of his surroundings, basically. Because Esau don't have no game, man. See, Jake got salt. See, little chicks like this right here. Little chicks right like this right here. Jake will hit. They'll let Jake run up, man. I'm willing to bet you, because Jake got salt, man. You know? So these women being able to gad abroad, as you can see right here, that you could clearly see shoulders showing, all kinds of flesh showing on both of them. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to see the video, but I think they deleted it, but they reshared it on X. But it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But let me grab this other one too. Let me grab this other little article real quick. Okay, so this one right here is extreme lengths young women are going to in New York City to survive as rent soars. Right? So a rent high shit in New York. But see, again, they want to be out here. They want to be by themselves. They want to live this American dream like a man. I can do what a man can do. And look at how much the rent costs. Now this is Manhattan. Rent in Manhattan has reached a shocking average of $5,125 per month, with the median cost across the 5 boroughs hitting $3,700 a month. You got a bitch out here trying to do all that on her own. I don't even know how people even live in New York. You think that place will be empty? You think they'd have done moved on and tried to find greener pastures, man? It says even singles looking for a single studio apartment are looking at an average monthly cost of $3,500 for a studio, bro. For a fucking studio. As rent prices soar, the dream of moving to New York as a young professional has become increasingly difficult, prompting some to explore alternative housing options, including religious boarding institutions and convents. So this is where they're going. They're going to these convents, man. However, living in a convent isn't always praying and vows to chastity. Young people from wide variety of religious backgrounds have been welcomed into the religious institutions. If you can follow the rules, be home by curfew, no alcohol, no drugs, no boys and girls in the same room, you can live in the homes for a fraction of an average NYC rent. Lauren Wallet, 43. A writer from South Africa was struggling to find short-term housing when she moved to New York. Here you go, you 43 and you are struggling like this with no man. Look at her though. Look at her though. You still want to be hot. I'm hot. Right? I'm hot. So here she look at her. Here you go in the fucking church, taking the fucking selfies and shit, because I'm hot. At 43. St. Joseph's, right? Through as hell, bro. As a creative person, I don't want a corporate job. I don't want a husband. See that? I want to find a way to live a creative, independent life, but that just means I'm gonna have to make certain sacrifices, she told the Daily Mail. I came to New York a few years ago by herself, gadding abroad. Remember the scripture? That women having that liberty to gad abroad? I came to New York a few years ago to build a startup. I literally thought I was going to come and take over the city and be incredibly rich and successful, and that has not happened, and it's not going to. More than likely, it's just not. New York is a fucking zoo, but it doesn't mean that I still don't deserve to live here. She continued. Crazy work, bro. I told you. See, this is the way that women think, man. This is why the fathers are supposed to be in control of the marriage situation when it comes to his daughters. You know, the scripture talks about how he pretty much he's up nightly, worrying pretty much overall. The apostles was going into that last week, I think it was, as to how, like, okay, what if my daughter doesn't get married? And then also he's wondering about the house. He doesn't want her to commit an act that would shame the family, you know what I'm saying, which is, getting popped and losing her virginity to some damn weirdo, and the family stain is on the home, and roughly paraphrasing, right? So these women make horrible decisions, bro. They don't make good decisions when it comes to the men that they pick, because it's a transaction. If the father is like, okay, I know this man, I've been knowing him all my life. We grew up together, so to speak. I've been knowing him for 30 years or whatever. Or 40 years, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know his sons. They're raised, the correct way. I see them. I've interacted with them. Their sons will make a good husband for my daughter because they have everything. They have on land, they have animals. Things that matter. They're able to actually take care of these women. They know that the stock that's going to come from, or the children that's going to come from that particular marriage, is going to be a good stock, and so on and so forth. So that continues generation to generation. So you have good marriages, you have good stock, you got good relations, so to speak. And then they come up with the settlement of who's going to get what's going to be, because a woman is property, and even in the father's home, and then she becomes the property of the husband. Scripture talks about that, man. It says, so she says, so when I came back to New York this time, it wasn't under the guise of I'm going to own this town, I'm going to live in a penthouse again. I was like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just going to be a writer in New York City. She confessed that she had to make some sacrifices living at St. Joseph's Home, a short-term resident program in Hell's Kitchen neighborhood affiliated with the Daughters of Mary of the Immaculate Conception. See that bullshit? Which Mary got rotted down, man, by Joseph. That's scriptural as well. These Christians just don't understand the scriptures, man. And then see, places like this, they believe in sweet white baby Jesus. It's called St. Joseph. Get the hell out of here, man. With all that weirdo shit. You Christians are weird. You follow a bunch of shit that's got nothing to do with the scriptures. But look at how much she's still paying. Including additional fees, Wallet pays $1,300 a month. She has her own room, but has to share a bathroom with 2 other girls on her floor. But $1,300 a month, bro. $1,300 a month. Now, let's say you put a couple more dollars with that, right? You paying, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I will, rent just crazy work. But let's just say you get a husband, and he can pay $1,300 a month. So that would be $2,600 a month, right? Maybe both can spare on both, or either end. The husband may be able to throw another 500 to 600 to it a month that that doesn't fuck with him. She can throw maybe another 200 or so, where it doesn't fuck with her. And she can actually be with a husband, more safer, pretty much in a sense. She don't have a damn, she has her own home. She has her own bathroom, and it's somewhere that she can, do her thing as far as the family raise children. You think she'd want to do that? No, she's going after her dream at 43 years old, pushing 50, and wanting to be a fucking writer. Okay, she says the biggest downside of living at St. Joseph's is the communal kitchen shared by 80 guests. So here you go. See again, now you got to share a damn kitchen with 80 other people. See how weird this is? But this is that. See, women don't think that's that ability to get abroad. A woman, she don't want to go half and half. Oh, you got to pay 100%, but you gonna pay 100% by yourself. Stupid, bro. And a woman is supposed to be a helpmeet, man. You're not supposed to come in and drag a man down, man. Look at her. See, this is what she want to do. I'm 43. Look at my hot body. You through. So it's been the worst part. But the best part is that it's completely silent. I feel totally safe. No men are allowed. Yeah, exactly. I'm in Hell's Kitchen, which is a pretty crazy place to be, but it's complete oasis. I sleep very peacefully. I know I'm safe. And when I walk out of my bedroom, my balcony is the beautiful chapel. And so when shit hits the fans, hey, they gonna be ravishing these places too. You think this little convent, St. Joseph's, gonna keep your ass safe when these men know that there's nothing but bitches in there? Some guys that's probably been watching your ass all along. They know that it's bitches in there. You don't think that they know it's food in there? You don't think that they're not gonna come through there and ravish these places? Women don't be thinking, bro. It says, she may be an unlikely candidate for religious housing. And she don't have nothing to do with religion. She don't give a fuck about no religion. She has a crucifix in her bedroom, and her living room is a chapel. But she is not a Catholic. Yeah. You better off not being any of that shit anyway. She said that she considers herself more of a mystic, a spiritual practice that focuses on the universe and has fewer restrictions than traditions, religions like Catholicism and Judaism. She does psychic sessions and tarot readings. See that? You got a complete damn demon in the church. That lets you know that these people, they don't care, man. The system that Esau has set up is some bullshit, bro. It really is some bullshit. Okay, it says she does psychic sessions and tarot readings, but has come to appreciate the Catholicism during her time at St. Joseph's. She explained that the religious iconography she sees in the home reminds her of a living tarot card. See? A damn witch, man. The scripture says to suffer not a witch to live. Anything that's inclusive and kind and cares for people is something I can get behind. And that's what the place that definitely is, she says. Yeah, they're going to ravish places like this right here. See, you got all these statues of sweet white baby Jesus. All this bullshit. Says she's not the only young woman embracing an alternative living arrangement. Katie Riddick, 32, has lived in 2 convents in New York. So y'all just bouncing from church to church, not trying to do anything to basically, as far as salvation. You bouncing there back and forth just to gad abroad to be a damn whore, man. So you can be out here and do what you want to do. Nuns are awesome. They be chilling. She told the Wall Street Journal. I trust nuns more than I trust random people on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. You got another one, 26, another chick. She's 26, a resident of the Santa Maria convent. Told the publication that she moved in after her mother died and needed to find a comfortable place to live. She said it offered a significantly cheaper alternative, and the nuns helped her to process the grief. See? Well, see, when it comes to you men, you don't get nothing like this. These women, they get all the benefits of the planet, man. You got another one. She shared on a TikTok video that she lived in a convent when she first moved to New York, calling it the best case scenario for living environment. She said she had a huge room in an affluent Manhattan neighborhood and lived in the beautiful brownstones just 15 minutes from where she worked. She added that the space was always clean and she had a hot meal every night without having to participate in any of the nunning activities. See? So they pimping the church basically. They like, well, come on through. Give us $1,300 a month. We'll take you in. It says religious boarding houses are not limited to women. Okay, so they got some for men. Where at? They offer short-term, short-term housing for women and men. I'm assuming that maybe if you're a family, maybe. Short-term housing is extremely tight and extremely expensive. So it's really hard to find something in New York, he explained. We focus on making sure that people who are coming to New York have a nice time, but also a good place to put their hats while they're here. Anyway, you get the point. The weekly rate for a room is $315 or $305 a week for students and interns. So you're looking at, of course, $12.50 a month, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So the building has 88 rooms, so they getting paid 90% filled. So they getting paid for $315 a room a week times 88 rooms. That's some nice little cake right there, boy. The church is pulling. Let me see what that is. Let's just do a little math here. Where's my calculator? Let's get 88 rooms. Well, we're gonna put in 90 since that's the capacity. Since you got where's the damn calculator at? Slovakia, y'all. Your phone. You rarely use the calculator. There we go. Let's see what these numbers are. So let's put 90 rooms since it's 90 rooms times $315 a week. What? Hold on. What? These motherfuckers making like 30 grand a month, bro. Of church. And you trying to tell me that, so why aren't they, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, one of the requirements is, okay, you come on down, you, you participate in religious settings or this, that, and the third. This is not a place for just you to just go in and out and just be a damn demon and bring demons back with you, spirits back on your ass. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers is making $30,000 a month, and that's just on that alone. So they making money as far as little givings and things of that nature. But damn, whew, motherfuckers getting paid, boy. So they not doing it for, they front as if it's just, let's just help the people. No, these fucking churches ain't never like that. So that's a perfect example too of sweet white baby Jesus and the idolatry of it, man. See how Esau and a lot of these so-called black pastors too, man, the way that they use the church to exploit the people, man, all in the name of an idol, right? Because as you can see, when you go back and when you go in here, you go into the article. Or did I come out of it? I came out of it. It don't matter though. But when you look at when she was in the chapel, what did you see? All those images of white people, idols. Got you thinking they're not going to tell you the truth of the true name of the Father, Yahweh, and the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. They're not going to tell you that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. They're going to tell you that this white Jesus, the fucking idol, he loves everybody. He loves everything. And give your life over. You got a straight witch in this bitch, a tarot card reader living in that. But you don't care who's coming in. So that lets you know that it's about the money. Because you should care who's there. You know, you like straight up, you got a bunch of wicked ass women that's able to go out and still do what they do. So she's got a curfew. Okay, what I don't know what time you got to be there by, maybe by 8 o'clock. You know, maybe 9. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But either way, as soon as she gets up, she can go anywhere and just get her back blown out by whoever she wants to get her back blown out by. You know, sniff her a little line of coke. You know, don't look so drugged out. You know what I'm saying? All she got to do is come there and not get into an argument with anyone. You know, but she can be out on the streets doing whatever she wants, man. So, you know, you get it. Anyway, I seen those couple of articles with these women there. And let me get Isaiah 4:1. I'm going to end out with that. Because it's getting very stressful for these women. You know, the food stamps have been cut. A lot of Medicaid, a lot of different programs have been cut for women that, you know, Trump just went ape shit crazy when he came and he started cutting a whole gang of shit that supported women and children. Isaiah 4:1, it says, let me read it in the Amplified. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own food and wear and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by thy name. Take away our shame of being unmarried. So, yeah, it's coming to a point where you women gonna come down off that high mighty horse. And see, women see it right now. But see them women that you seen, you know, when the first story, them 2 little snow bunnies, they'll end up dealing with some weirdo. You know, they won't deal with a guy that's, you know, he's pretty much what they would call a straight shooter. He goes to work. He went to college. He went and got his little degree. He's, you know, he has a, you know, he may not look that, he may not have that look that they generally would want. Or he's got to be 6'3", 6'4", you know, the beach body. Them the dudes that's going to fuck you all around. They not going to deal with a, you know, he may be about 5'3", 5'4", 5'6", you know, 5'7", a little chubby. He may not be the best looking dude, you know what I'm saying? He's a little corny, a little dorky. You know, but shit, he has the means to provide. No, women don't want stuff like that. They, you know, they want what they see on TV, and that's one of the main problems of America. You know what I'm saying? These women have that ability to gad abroad, and Esau has given you a roadmap or a blueprint as to how to gad abroad and fuck yourself over in this place. You know what I'm saying? You know, by looking at TV and you see shit that you can't live like you on fucking TV. Life don't work that way, but people really think that. You know, so I'm gonna end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala and the Bible Ball.